Hello, my beautiful rock stars. It's your girl Rocqi, your revolutionary hippie from LifeIsRocqi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. All right, so today on another episode of my polyamorous journey. I haven't done this in a while. I was on a roll, and then I just was like reflections on other parts of my life and life itself. So here I am getting back at it. but and I'm trying to get together a Black and Poly virtual panel for Non-Monogamy Visibility Week. So wish me luck on getting some panelists for that. I already have one person down, so I gotta send out some emails or some DMs to see if anybody else is interested, because I would really love to create that space, especially during that week. But anyways, stay tuned. And if you don't know about Non-Monogamy Visibility Week, check out OPEN, Organization for Polyamory and Ethical Non-Monogamy. They scheduled their first Non-Monogamy Visibility Week last year, 2024. Sorry, I'm getting my years mixed up. 2024, and they had 40 plus global events, both virtual and in person. So definitely hoping for the continuation of that. I'm really excited to be just a part of the witnessing history, and I live in Oakland, and we were the third city to pass polyamorous protection rights for polyamorous families and individuals. So I'm really excited to have spoken on the at the city council meeting for that. So we about that life over here. Oh, and then shout out to the shirts from Polyam Fam. Check him out. He's a graphic designer, designs shirts and art prints, and this one is the bisexual flag colors with the heart and the infinity symbol. The heart and the infinity is definitely our low-key flag of the polyamorous community, but in 2022 over 30,000 people actually voted for an actual flag, so I have a shirt with that flag too from Polyam Fam. So check them out. But for Valentine's Day, I wanted to go back and talk about love. So first, before I go into what the culture of polyamory is, I want to preface with I am individually polyamorous. I have the individual capacity to romantically love more than one person at a time, as well as pour into more than one relationship at a time. I also have questioned monogamy as young as 9 years old, and it just never really made sense to me. And then if you look at majority of the species on the planet, we're all non-monogamous, and humans have historically shown issues with monogamy, with infidelity, so not too good at it, so all that to say, I would have been a polyamorous anyway, but specifically being exposed to the culture of polyamory, it was like another reason for me to be in this community and just in these types of relationships. So I wanted to kind of dive into what the culture of polyamory is. So first and foremost, polyamory means many loves. Okay, so I would say the first cultural element of polyamory is that love is abundant, not scarce. And this is one of the cultural elements that is used to deprogram from monogamy. Because if you think about it, love is abundant, not scarce. So we understand that love is abundant as a parent with multiple children, with love for your siblings, love for your parents, more than one, love for your family, your community, your friends, your pets, we understand that love is abundant, but suddenly sex is thrown in and it's like, nope, it's very scarce and reserved. And it's like, that's not the case for everybody. Okay. Now, different people have different viewpoints around sex, right? Sometimes it's specific to the people you love and care about. Sometimes it's like just the physical act of pleasure, right? I'm able to experience both. I had a lot of casual sex when I was younger. Now I don't have as much capacity for it. And then specifically because I'm dating women now, I prefer emotional connection over casual sex. So even though I have the capacity for casual sex with men, which is interesting, but it's changed as I've aged, and it's changed as I'm experiencing different aspects of myself as far as my sexuality. So yeah, I guess we have to agree to disagree on that first, to then get to the romantic love can be abundant, because I think we're also love triangles in every form of media ever. So we're plagued with that, but it's also plagued with the thought of, well, you can't love them both equally. You can't love one without hurting the other. And we've been played with that. And it's like, love is energy. And as it is with a child, like if a parent has one child, it's like, you're enough. I'm not going to have any more. And if I do have more, oh, that love's not going to grow. I don't have any more to give, you know? And it's very questionable because it's like, it's an energy. It doesn't, there is no cap outside of your individual capacity to hold it, you know? And it's like, I understand if you just don't have feelings for more than one person at a time, if something's going on with one and like that relationship is deteriorating or de-escalating or transitioning and you're moving on to another. I get that. But there have been 3 different times in my life where it's like I had feelings for 2 people and they were just different. It was different connections, different experiences, different parts of myself were fed. And it's like monogamy forces you to choose, whereas polyamory, you don't have to. You can embrace the fact that you have multiple crushes, multiple romantic interests, multiple loves. And while that wasn't, those 3 different love triangles, it wasn't love at the same time. When I actually started practicing, I was with my now husband and I dated someone else and I fell in love. So I was in love with 2 different people at the same time. And it was very fascinating because like I came from a date with her and like my husband immediately cuddled me after. And I like felt the physical energy in my body shift as I like transitioned from being one person to another. It was a very interesting, just body awareness moment. but yeah, I have the capacity to love more than one person at a time. And just because you don't doesn't mean you get to dictate what I am able to do. Okay. But it was an element of the culture that I agreed with, had already resonated with, questioned why it couldn't been, because I'm not the type of person who's like, oh, it's so different. Love is love. It's something that can't be defined. It's an emotional energy, and it's something that we feel for multiple people anyway, even if it's different. The love I have for my friends is different than the love I have for my family, but it's still love at the end of the day. The love I have for my children is definitely different than the love I have for I was going to say pets, but some people love their pets just as they love their children, you know? But anyways, love is abundant. It's not always scarce in that it has to take from another. It can just grow as is, you know? So that's one aspect that I loved about the culture of polyamory. The next part was respect for each person's autonomy. There's a very deep respect for each person's autonomy. And I actually love that, especially as a woman, because especially like the form of non-monogamy I was most familiar with growing up was polygamy. And we get the sense that that is not all about the woman, right? So I love that polyamory respects our autonomy and respects our voice and our choice. And I really love that aspect. But also just in terms of monogamy, toxic monogamy specifically, there's a lot of enmeshment, there's a lot of codependency, and it is not a lot of autonomy. And I think maybe starting with my husband and I have separate bedrooms, and like when I originally moved in, like that's how we started living together, with separate bedrooms. And once we were like doing it for a while and like getting closer in our relationship, I was like, I don't think I can share a bedroom. Like, I like having my individual space. We can still cuddle. We can still have morning cuddles. We can nap together. We can still have overnights. We can still be in each other's rooms. But it's just like having that reserved space for yourself and making it your sanctuary and not automatically having to be with someone else just kind of got me in the frame of mind of me and what I need for me, and that I could still have connections with other people and relationships and still respect myself, you know, and I don't have to sacrifice myself for someone else. So I really like that aspect. And then the third cultural element of polyamory is the freedom of connection. And I was actually just talking with my husband about this because he's been in relationships most of his life. He hasn't been in college single, and I was, and baby, that And people learned once they graduate that you no longer have that pool of people. You gotta find people now. And dating apps is usually what people turn to. Although check out speed dating. I've been doing that, having a great old time. But anyways, so yeah, college is an amazing dating pool. And I was single, and I had the ability like to just flow with connections. One, to connect so often and continuously, and then like to just flow and like flow with attraction, flow with an intellectual stimulation, flow with emotional connection. And it was so eye-opening, especially as a licensed marriage and family therapist now. But it was so eye-opening into relationships and attraction and attachment and connection. It was really beautiful. And I got to experience that, and God, that was so amazing. And like I remember one instance, I was getting a tattoo, and like me and the artist was just vibing, like spiritual beliefs we was talking about, values, we was just vibing. And it was very interesting because my ex was in the room with me, and I was like, and we was still fucking, and I was like, how is he feeling about this? Like, this man is flirting with me and he don't know who you are. But it was very interesting. And honestly, that was the only person my ex was jealous of, because he saw that connection and it was flowing. And like, to the point, the first date I had with the tattoo artist, we went out to eat, but we didn't touch our food. We were talking the entire time. And that's how you know that connection is just flowing. And it was that, but it was also like, there was plenty of instances, like I would go to the game room and I'm like talking to multiple guys and like they're friends, which I didn't know that at the time of beginning to talk to them. I found out upon entering the game room and y'all talking to each other and like, oh, y'all are friends. Oh, okay. That's how we doing it. But yeah, it's interesting flirting and vibing with people and just being free to connect. And I love that polyamory doesn't limit you in that, because like one instance, there was the manager at Chipotle. I would always go to Chipotle for like my lunch at work, and that man was so fine, and I could just flirt and be attracted to him. And like I didn't want to talk to him anything past that. I just wanted to just be free to be attracted and flirt and enjoy that connection. And I was with my now husband, and it felt amazing to just flow in that. And like, I think my husband's in that space where I am better at managing my emotions as far as him practicing polyamory, which again, it is a whole experience, and I'll get to later, as far as the separate journeys of you practicing polyamory versus your partner practicing polyamory. And it's usually the monogamous who, like, soon as polyamory is like, oh, I don't want to share my partner, and it's like you talking about them practicing polyamory, but you're not saying anything about yourself. Self-reflect on that. But anyways, so he wants to experience that freedom and connection. He experienced it like in the beginning stage of our polyamorous journey, but I was not ready for the emotions. So he would like to experience that freedom and connection while I'm better managed within myself. So I want that for him too, because it is something to like just meet someone, feel that energy, flow in that connection, keep it going, and then it's like it's not deterring from the relationships that you already have. So yeah, I really love that aspect, that you get the benefits of being single and the benefits of established relationships and long-term commitments. So it's really nice. And that's why I got into polyamory. I was like, you being polyamorous is a whole nother journey. But anyways, in that, the next cultural element is open, honest, transparent communication. And that's one thing I loved about polyamory, because I cannot stand lying. Like, biggest pet peeve is lying. I always valued honesty over monogamy, always. And I was always like, why can't you just talk to the person? Like, if things aren't working out, talk to them. If you want to be non-monogamous, talk to them. Like, just talk. Like, I cannot stand lying and omissions, and just cheating is based in lying, secrecy, deception, and betrayal. And I don't fuck with it. Just talk. But anyways, so I appreciated the open, honest, and transparent communication of polyamory. It's definitely a huge aspect of that, as well as the whole ethical and consensual non-monogamous community. I did realize there are some things you don't need to know, and some things you want to know, and some things that just because you want to know doesn't mean you'll get to know them. So it is a journey of learning what the boundaries of that communication looks like. But I need something. I need something. I need to know who you're going out with, when you're going, just like if there's a trajectory of the relationship type of thing, just so I'm aware of how it may impact my life, basically. But yeah, I need that, and I appreciate that that's a part of the culture. And with that, people's biggest question is like sexual health. And what I love about the communication is that we are transparent about sexual health and our boundaries around that. So testing is a regular conversation within our community. The fact that we show test results prior to engaging in sexual activity, and that's just a thing. There's no stigma, there's no secrecy, there's no shame. It's just like, here are my results, show me yours. Barrier use, the amount of partners that we have, like it's very open, and I really appreciate that, because there's no way in hell we would be able to do this without that. Like, nah. And the last cultural element of polyamory, I would say, is the commitment to emotional growth. And I would say this specifically with your partners dating other people. Because, like, yeah, you emotionally grow within yourself, but the real test is when your partners start dating other people. And while it has been one hell of a journey for me, and definitely full of challenges for sure, and that's a whole nother video. But what I will say is, I realized that I never go as deep in reflecting about my emotions until I'm processing some polyamory stuff, particularly with my husband dating. And it's like I feel cleansed. Like I've really done a deep dive into myself. Like I'm aware of my body attunement to my emotions. And it's just like, yeah, it feels a cleanse. Like I really dove into myself. And I don't dive that deep for some reason outside of that context. Like I journal, but it doesn't feel as cleansing as the polyamory stuff, which is very fascinating. But I also, like, personally, I'm committed to emotional growth. Relationally, I'm committed to emotional growth. And like, you're always growing, like always. Like life continues to change. You continue to change. Your relationships continue to change. So you're always growing. And the aspect of polyamory is another aspect to that, especially with new partners, or transitioning partners and things like that. So I'm committed to that. I've realized not everybody is committed to growth, just overall growth. And it's like, well, you changing whether you accept it or not, or agree with it or not. You change it. But anyways, so yeah, because we all get older, But yeah, so that's what I would say is the cultural elements of polyamory, and why I really felt a part of this community and this culture. So love is abundant, not scarce. Respect each person's autonomy. Freedom of connection. Open, honest, transparent communication, and commitment to emotional growth. So I would say those are the 5 cultural elements of polyamory. What other cultural elements would you say? Would you agree? Would you add? Any monogamists still here on this video? I guess share your thoughts, but know that I can delete your comments if I choose to, because it's my channel and I control the vibe going on, okay? But anyways, hopefully you're having a happy Valentine's Day. Oh, that was another thing. Because you have multiple partners, holidays are difficult, right? So I learned to not be dependent on the day, and be dependent on what I'm doing for the day with that person on a different day. So like, it's not about the day. It's about, let me celebrate this with you at this specific time, and it's celebrating you and us and our specific relationship. And nobody else has this relationship, because no one is you and no one is me and no one is us together. So it's also honoring that in the abundance of love as well. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Yeah, I'm really excited about just being polyamorous. And even though, again, I'm individually polyamorous, I think even if I was monogamous, I would still want to be a part of this culture and community because of the cultural elements that it has. Monogamy can be healthy and is completely valid, but toxic monogamy has run rampant in terms of media and culture. And it's just a lot of things that I find restrictive and I don't agree with. Like the possession and ownership mentality, but that's going into some deprogramming from mononormativity, which is a different video. But that's where I am. What say you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you check out my website blog, because who knows what's gonna happen with Meta. But so yeah, I'm starting my blog. I have my Facebook blog, but I'm moving my blog. Well, in addition to, I'm gonna have both, but to my website. So definitely check it out. I have polyamorous moments there, and it's organized, unlike Facebook. So I have polyamorous moments there. It's my polyamorous journey on my YouTube channel. I should probably have it as the same name, but I don't, because my blog is like mommy fever moments, queer moments, marriage moments, polyamorous moments, whereas I have different names on my YouTube channel. I don't feel the need to be ruled by anything, so I do what I want. But anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Happy Valentine's Day, and light and love.